at 6. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, first up tonight, UConn fans have their sights set back on that three-peat as Dan Hurley decides to stay in the basketball capital of the world. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The Lakers reportedly offered him a 6-year, $70 million contract, but Hurley turned them down. About an hour ago, Hurley put out a statement saying, quote, "I am humbled by this experience. At the end of the day, I am extremely proud of the championship culture we've built at Connecticut. We met as a team before today's workout, and our focus right now is on getting better this summer and connecting as a team as we continue to pursue championships."
And it's been quite the day for UConn fans, as a lot of us really did expect him to leave for the NBA.
Yeah, that's a lot of money he turned down. Fox 61 sports director Jonah Karp is in studio with more on his decision. It sounds like he is ready for that three-peat.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys at some point over the last few days have been asked, what do you think Dan Hurley's going to do, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm sure you at home have been asked that same question. What is Dan Hurley going to do? Is he going to go to the Lakers? Is he going to stay at UConn? Now all of the noise subsides, and we're back to where we were this time last week with Dan Hurley leading the Huskies into another exciting basketball season. Someone who's experienced the excitement of UConn basketball up close is the voice of the Huskies, Mike Crispino. Mike joins us now to chat about it. Mike, what a story to bookend your Tallahassee trip for UConn baseball, huh?
Yeah, we were paying a lot of attention to what was going on with the Los Angeles Lakers and Dan Hurley while we're calling the games in Tallahassee between UConn and Florida State for the Super Regionals. UConn a chance to get to a College World Series and fell a couple games short there, but I think this is good news, certainly for UConn, certainly for college basketball. Dan is one of the great personalities in the game, with Mike Krzyzewski retired now and Jay Wright leaving. Dan Hurley becomes the face of this game in a lot of ways, and after winning 2 national championships, I'm just happy to see him back.
An opportunity to continue what he started at UConn. From what you know about Dan Hurley, Mike, what do you think were the big deciding factors that led him to this conclusion?
I think deep down inside, in his soul, he knows that he's a college coach. I mean, he's one of the great coaches that we have seen on the college level, obviously, and I have no doubt he would do well in the pros, but I think he's well suited to teaching younger players in their 20s and late teens about this game and developing their character and their well-being. So I think he really feels deep down that this is where he belongs. And even though he says, I'd like to, coach in the NBA someday, I think that's what you're hearing there is a college coach who wants to be at the highest level in his profession. And there's nothing wrong with that. I totally agree with Dan thinking that way. But I think he's really well suited for what he is right now. And that is one of the great college coaches that we have seen in the last several decades.
So Dan Hurley turns down the Lakers. The coaching staff is still intact. Alex Karaban is back. Let's put this day into context. How big does this day feel in the history of UConn basketball, Mike?
I think it's huge because they've just won back-to-back championships. That's almost unprecedented. That rarely ever happens. And they've got a really good team they're putting together right now with another shot at it. They'll be ranked top 10 when the season begins. And if Dan does his magic and the coaching staff is doing what they've been doing over the last few years, this team will compete maybe for another national championship, which would really put the Huskies up in the higher echelons of the college game. Not since John Wooden's teams way back in the 60s and 70s who won 7 in a row have we had this kind of maybe possibility that another school could win 3 in a row. So they're in a great spot. They've got players coming back. They got great talent coming in. They've got transfers with talent, and they got a great coaching staff. So I can't wait for November. We got a lot of things to happen before then, and I know those guys will be working pretty hard this summer to get to November, but it's really something to look forward to for college basketball fans here in Connecticut.
Voice of the Huskies, Mike Crispino. Mike, thanks so much. Looking forward to next year.
You got it.
All right, guys, we continue our coverage with Fox 61's Jake Garcia. You guys can take it from here, right?
We sure can, Jonah. Thank you. Jay Garcia is on the UConn campus with reaction there We know that there aren't students there right now, but there's still plenty of excitement in stores.
Jake?
It's welcome news here in stores, and even though campus is a lot quieter than normal because of summer break being in full swing, a lot of people just excited that Dan Hurley will be staying another year. Now, once we learned that he would be continuing on here at UConn for another season, a small group of people gathered outside the Worth Basketball Center to kind of celebrate, if you will. Of course, Dan Hurley has been talking about going for a three-peat ever since the UConn men returned home to stores with their second straight national championship earlier this year. Now, while there aren't a whole lot of students on campus at the moment, we were able to talk with a few fans who say they're relieved Hurley's staying on for next season.
I am so relieved. I'm so pleased. I'm so excited because it's going to be another amazing year of UConn basketball.
I think Hurley's done a wonderful job. He strikes me as a really great guy, great coach, clearly a great coach, and I couldn't be happier that he's staying.
And most fans excited that he just decided to stick around and say this speaks a lot about his love for UConn and pass up a deal that offered a lot more money and that would take him out west. We've been told that Hurley will most likely give his first interview since this groundbreaking decision a little later this week. Reporting in stores, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Jake. The sun's out and the temperatures are starting to heat up.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now with the first check of the forecast here. Rach?
Yeah, it's really comfortable out there today. We have low levels of humidity, temperatures that are in the lower 70s right now for Hartford and New Haven. It will get progressively warmer as the week wears on, but the humidity holds off for at least 2 more days. So overall, if you were a fan of today, I was too, and we're going to get a couple of more days that are just like it, but we're going to slowly start to dial up the numbers. 66 in Waterbury, 73 the current temperature for the New Haven area. Sunshine has mixed with some clouds out there, as you're seeing, and I think we're going to do it all over again tomorrow. For the news at 10 and 11, we're seeing temperatures falling back through the 60s, but by daybreak tomorrow, we're going to see temperatures in the 50s, so it'll be a really comfortable, refreshing start to the day tomorrow. By noon, temperatures are in the low 70s, and we'll see high temperatures that will climb into the mid 70s. So very similar to today, a mix of sun and clouds, slight chance for an isolated sprinkle, but that's about it. For Wednesday, we'll do it again before Thursday and Friday. Temperatures start to heat up a bit more. It looks like 90 might be within reach for some away from the shoreline. We're going to talk about that, plus some even hotter temperatures down the line. Your full forecast coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Rachel. A 35-year-old Norwich man was arraigned today on charges surrounding a crash. A woman was killed just days before her 97th birthday.
Police say he crashed into another car and left the scene in Griswold on Sunday. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc joins us from where the crash happened. Julia.
You can still see signs from Sunday's crash in the middle of this Griswold intersection, including what looks like police markings from the investigation. Now, this is where police say Franklin Post blew through a stop sign at a high rate of speed, slammed into another car with 3 people in it, then ran away.
You have the right to remain silent.
A sleepy Franklin Post appeared in front of a Norwich judge from his hospital bed Monday afternoon.
He does have a record that dates back to 2006.
That record, taking more than 2 minutes to review, includes 6 pending cases in this court alone, with his last arrest as recent as April.
So to date, he has posted a total of $325,000 in bond.
Post now faces 7 other charges after police say he crashed into another car in this intersection Sunday while driving under the influence. Police say he and 2 others with him left the scene. In the back of the other car was 96-year-old Charlotte DeGrotto from Brantford. She died at the hospital shortly after, just days away from her 97th birthday.
It was pretty awful, you know, just the accident itself kind of was almost like surprised the car didn't flip over.
Dean Rubino owns the restaurant just feet away from where the crash happened. He heard it just before 5 p.m.
We heard a loud smash, and I said, that can't be good.
Rubino shared surveillance video from the incident with us. We're choosing not to show the collision, but seconds after it happens, 3 men jump out of the car, grab a few things, and run away.
No regard for anything.
In the car, police found drug paraphernalia, a knife, and prescription pills belonging to Post. Shortly after, they found one of the passengers. Then, from witness interviews and a video taken on scene, police recognized Post as the driver of the Audi. He was found in the woods of a nearby apartment complex shortly after, admitting to police that he smoked marijuana recently and was falling asleep at the wheel. Post addressing the judge in court Monday.
I'm not close to that, but there's no negative.
Now, on top of what they found in the Audi yesterday, police also found more pills on Post that they say tested positive for fentanyl and more than $4,000 in cash. Now, today, the judge set his bond at $1.5 million. He's expected back in court on this case on July 12th. We are in Griswold. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. A 10-year-old is recovering after being hit by a car in Simsbury over the weekend. It happened at the intersection of Elm and Church Streets yesterday afternoon. Police say the child was in the crosswalk when they were hit. The driver immediately stopped to help the child. Police say the 10-year-old was taken to a hospital and luckily only has minor injuries.
A fiery morning for a few families in East Litchfield. Take a look at these photos from firefighters. A car caught fire right next to a fence over the weekend. Crews pushed the fire away from the home, and then with the help of the tow company, they flipped the car over so they could put out the flames underneath.